Hello, and welcome once again to You Might Also Like a Podcast. Today is August 9th, 2013. My name's Chris, your host, as always, and I am here today with my friend, Jim.
I am also known as the admin of awkwardnetflixcaptions.tumblr.com. I would recommend, if you love Netflix and the silly captions that you sometimes see there, check it out.
That was an awesome plug, wasn't it, guys? I love that plug. Go check out Jim's Tumblr, please. Now, Jim, what did we watch today?
We watched... Okay, first off, I have to preface this and say we cheated a little bit, or at least I cheated. I have seen this movie previously. Chris and his wife had not. And I said, this movie is something you have to absolutely see. It is the epitome of the reason why we started this podcast. It is called Ricky-O, the story of Ricky.
Or, when you start the movie, it actually is called Ricky-O, a.k.a. the story of Ricky. But on Netflix, the way Jim said it was definitely how it was listed.
When you search for it.
Yeah, so just an interesting little fun fact there for you.
It takes place, it was shot in 1991 in Hong Kong, and it takes place in 2001 in a dystopian future where all the prisons have been privatized by the government, completely, this is something that's beyond the pale that I could not imagine happening in the real world. I mean, this whole movie is outlandish, but privatizing prisons and using prisoners as cheap labor?
Yeah, I had to suspend my disbelief, really. I was like, oh my god, that's way out there, man. And I had to get past that to watch the movie.
They treat the prisoners like garbage, and they don't feed them any food because it saves money. Can you imagine them doing that in a place like America?
No, God, no. That's awful. Unbelievable.
Anyway, the genre is a kung fu movie, but I would say it has something for everyone. It has the most over-the-top, gratuitous, fake-looking violence you've ever seen in your life. Heads exploding, people's getting their heads just bashed in, a guy gets a crater in his head, A dude tries to punch him, and he punches the dude's fist, and the dude's fist explodes.
Yeah, just ridiculous, over-the-top, bloody, fantastic, cheesy violence. And if you've been listening to the show, you know that's where my heart is, really.
It also has comedy. There's comic relief. There's some funny characters in it, such as the warden's son, who's kind of a goofball. There's also a lot of social commentary about, basically how privatizing prisons is not exactly the best idea.
On the topic of comic relief, I will say that there's one thing about Asian movies in particular. You can always tell who the comic relief is because they're fat. I watch a lot of Asian movies, and that's always the guy. There's never really a serious fat guy in the movie.
Yeah, there's a series of bosses that Ricky must fight called the Gang of Four, which those of you in the post-punk scene may know as a really, really sweet band, so don't get those two confused, because these guys are pure evil. But one of their lackeys is this huge, giant, fat guy who got paid 30 kilograms of rice to kill Ricky, and...
Yeah, if you go back and watch a bunch of old Jackie Chan stuff from the 70s, there's always at least one fat guy. So be on the lookout for that. Just a little fun fact. Fun fact for you guys.
Hey, so I told myself I wasn't going to chime in on this one, but this is Heather, Chris's wife, and I just have to say this movie is freaking incredible, and you need to watch it right now. And if you don't, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Yeah, if you're not already loading this one up, please stop downloading our podcast, because your heart's just not in it, man.
Out of all the movies that have been reviewed so far in the short, brief history of this podcast, this is far and away the best.
Oh, easily. This is the heart of this podcast. This is movies like this. If you're into that underground kind of lesser known, obscure, just fantastic movies, this is the epitome of it. I just spent the last hour and a half just watching this dude punch holes in people, and I could not be happier.
And these guys deserved it. I mean, I won't spoil too much, but Ricky was in prison because his girlfriend was killed by heroin dealers, and he sought revenge, and that's why he's in prison right now. And so you can tell he's the good guy, right off the bat, because he
plays the flute.
He plays the flute. He was a flute major in college.
That's how you know.
He has a sensitive, despite punching holes in people and, doing all these sorts of things. He's a good guy deep at heart. He's got a sensitive side.
Yep.
I mean, there's all sorts of ridiculous montages. There's a part where he trains in the cemetery. Kind of disrespectful to the dead, but he becomes basically a Super Saiyan, like Goku in a prison, from his uncle throwing tombstones at him, and him bashing the tombstones in a million pieces. Just, ridiculous scenes like that.
Yeah, in, the span of 3 hours, he becomes a badass. And I would have to say, it is disrespectful to punch tombstones. You probably shouldn't do that unless you're in a pinch and you need to level up fast.
It is he went up 5 levels in 2 minutes in that movie.
It's very effective. So kids out there being bullied, head to your local graveyard.
Have your uncle chuck some tombstones at you.
I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying if you got to,
It's kind of along the lines of, to my nerd friends out there, if you were to just run dungeons nonstop in World of Warcraft, and you're a level 10, but there's a level 50 or 70 running you through, that's about the power difference and the experience he gained just in that short amount of time.
Nerd.
I'm done nerding out, sorry.
Nerd.
So,
Nerds!
Another good movie. But anyway, Netflix recommended that we would give this 4 3/4 stars. I think that was a little bit low. I thought that was disrespectful to the movie. I would personally give this 5 stars.
I'm giving it 6 out of 5. 6 out of 5, guys.
And I feel like I need to be the best and say I would give it 6.1 out of 5 stars.
Damn it.
It's like Spinal Tap where they turned it up to 11 as far as how awesome this movie is.
Yeah, they took the awesome meter, cranked it to a good 12, 11, somewhere above where the meter goes.
They broke the dial.
Yeah.
And they called me a nerd.
They had it basically caused a nuclear meltdown on how awesome this movie is. The first time I watched it was about 10 years ago, and every 10 minutes I was yelling out, "Whoa, gnarly!" like Spicoli when they pulled the heart out in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. So.
And I have to say, I'm sorry, I've got to chime in with one last thing. You remember those days? Well, I don't know, because a lot of our friends are younger, but the 80s when the movies were just fun and there was gore just for the sake, it wasn't realistic, but it proved its point and it was so entertaining in the way they did that. And this movie is that times a million. Throw in some awesome kung fu, so it's a win-win-win-win-win situation.
There's literally a scene where a guy slices his stomach open, pulls his guts out, and tries to strangle Ricky with his own guts.
And if you're thinking it sounds like Freeman is spoiled quite a bit, just you wait. You're in for a treat, because that is not even the smallest bit of the action and the gore and the, total annihilation that you'll see in this movie.
Anyway, if you listen to this podcast and you do not immediately go from this podcast and watch this movie, I am judging you so hard.
Yeah, consider yourself judged. And on blast, guys. Seriously.
Nerds!
You nerds.
Alright, so
I've been Chris, here with Jim. Go ahead and plug your shit again.
awkwardnetflixcaptions.tumblr.com. And we were also joined by Heather to just show how awesome this movie was. We have 3 people here. It was a 3-0 decision. This movie kicks ass.
Thanks for not minding me butting in, guys. Just had to put my 2 cents worth in here.
Once again, just throwing it out there. No pressure. We are on Facebook.
But watch this movie. And I know that's not his point, but I just have to stress again that you need to go watch this movie.
And then like the Facebook page. And also follow, if you have a Tumblr, follow my blog.
Yeah, do all those things. And then there will be a show coming up again soon, probably. We love you all, and have a good night.
Thanks, guys!